I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York.
How we doing, everyone? Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Richie, here with my guy from the Bronx, Bosco from the Bronx, Mr. Idris Salam.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Happy
How you
Wednesday.
doing,
You know how
bro?
we
How
do.
you doing?
Let's go. Let's go. I'm doing good. Let's roll.
All right. Title of the episode, Knick Knack Patty Whack. Knicks lose to Celtics at home. The courageous
Yeah.
Jarren Duran and Deadwood in Detroit. We're going to start this up at MSG, New York Knickerbockers. Recent Hall of Fame inductee, soon to be official at his ceremony, Carmelo Anthony witnessing the bitter end. Mikal Bridges just sloppy at the end of the game, a winnable game, overtime loss to the Celtics. A team that the Knicks just can't beat. Idris, is there anything positive to take away from this?
We gave him a good game. That's the best I could say. We had a chance. That's the best I could say. We can't beat Boston. We can't beat Cleveland. If we can't beat Boston and we can't beat Cleveland, we can't go to the championship. We got to beat them. We can't beat them. We had a chance last night, and I think had we won, it would have been a big boost because it would have said, okay, we beat one of the big dogs. We showed we can do it. Mikal Bridges, yeah, it was disappointing, man. It was disappointing.
Yeah, definitely a bad break. I will say this. Law of averages says that when you lose to teams constantly, but most recently playing the most complete game, although still in defeat,
Mhm.
there could be some encouragement even with the defeat. But, Jalen Brunson, only his second game back.
Yeah,
I think it's imperative that Hugh Robinson in the playoffs is making those minutes count, whether it be on the glass, whether it be, on the
yeah,
blocks,
yeah.
defensively getting putbacks. I will say this. OG Anunoby has really elevated his game, and it's continuing to, even with Brunson's reemergence into the lineup.
Oh yeah, I love OG, man. I was so glad when we signed him. We re-signed him because I was like, we cannot let this guy get away because the impact he made, after the trade was like, wow. And we saw how we were when he wasn't on the court last season.
Oh, I honestly think his absence in Game 7 directly correlates with the Knicks
Yeah,
losing that
he,
series last year. I mean, he opened up, hit his first two shots, but he just couldn't continue to go.
yeah, he couldn't kick, yeah, and he gave it. I give it to him because he went out there and he tried, man. He tried. He couldn't
Yeah,
do it.
that's all you could ask.
Yeah, yeah,
But
and yeah. So
I still think the playoffs are a second season, a different animal. I will say this.
yeah,
I will be rooting for the Orlando Magic to get out of their play-in and go head-to-head with the Celtics because I actually think with Orlando's youth, they might be able to give the Celtics a bit of a hard time.
I agree. And that's the thing. And you was talking about how we're 0-3 against the Celtics this year. But there is a thing where, and I think you kind of alluded close to it, to where when you dominate during the season, sometimes in the playoffs, it's a whole different story. So I'm hoping, with Cleveland and Boston dominating during the season, we get in the playoffs and okay, it's a whole different game. All that stuff don't count anymore. We're in a whole different season. Let's go out and do it.
And
but
however this turns out, I still think the Knicks have a 3-year window.
I agree.
But
I agree. I think
similar to what the Bills are going through in the NFL.
Yeah.
The more times that you keep falling short to your main rival, the window tends to get smaller. So right now, at a 3-year window, not including this season, second season that's about to get going, but looks like the Knicks are either going to draw Milwaukee or Detroit in round one. Neither one of those series are going to be gimmies, but I would prefer to play Milwaukee, especially with Dame Lillard being out.
Yeah, me too. And I think we match up well against Milwaukee also. We got the speed. We don't have that. I think Robinson can go up against Giannis. It's just the scoring. But we match up well against them. Very well. Because we're athletic. Because we can shoot. We can shoot from the perimeter. We do have an inside game. We got a guard in Brunson that can pretty much roast you at any time. So I think Milwaukee's a good matchup for us. They can't even stay healthy. So, and I know
think the Knicks should get out of there within 5 games. I think against Detroit, possibly 6. But either way, the Knicks should be able to advance. And, like anything else, you hope you run through your round quickly, and maybe the Celtics have a couple of fumbles. The Celtics have had a bad propensity in recent years of playing poorly at home in the postseason. On the contrast, they've been terrific on the road.
Yeah. I think that'll help us too. I'm confident with us. We got to win, man.
We got a comment coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Cleveland Indians hat? If so, that's a dope hat.
Nice
coming in, men. Screw that. I'll be asking for Coach Tips to be on the hot seat. Actually, Nice. I have on recent shows called for that. My
me too.
issue with Tom Thibodeau, I don't think he's really acclimated to the NBA landscape now, where rest minutes are such a vital part of what's going on. And, he has a propensity for beating down his rotation, and it's a very short rotation at that.
Yeah, I agree. And Nice, I do like it. I'm glad you're rocking the old Cleveland Indians hat. It's I always like that logo because of the Chief cheesing. So shouts out. I think that's one of the dopest logos.
Of course, I'm going to be partial to the Yankee hat.
Oh yeah.
Yankee fan. But I will say this, non-Yankee related, my 3 favorite ball caps in all of MLB. The hat that this gentleman's wearing.
Yeah.
The Oakland Athletics joint.
Yeah.
The yellow brim.
Oh yeah.
The old school Montreal Expos hat.
Oh the Expos.
That Brewers hat with the glove. That's
with the glove and the ball. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to get off the subject, but I always like that Cleveland hat. It's just because of the way the Indian is. He got the eyes open and showed all the teeth.
So Nice. Since we got you on the show here, welcome to the show. Are you based out in Cleveland, Ohio area? Are you a Browns fan? Are you rolling with the Cavs? Or you just like the hat? Just curious, because if so, I wanted to ask you, Nice, we'll divert a little. What do you think about the upcoming NFL draft?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, word. Just a hat. Well, I'm going to ask you anyway, since we're football guys, I'm assuming on some level.
Yeah.
If you're the Cleveland Browns, are you taking Travis Hunter with pick 2? Are you going Abdul Carter to pair him with Myles Garrett? Or are you trading back? Or even Shador Sanders, which would be Coach Prime's nightmare to have his son go over by the mistake at the lake. Nice. I'll give you a minute to comment on that. I'm gonna let Idris. Idris, which way is
Yeah.
Cleveland going in this NFL draft?
Oh man, they got to get a quarterback, man.
See, that's
It'd
the
be
thing.
nice if they had now if they put Abdul Carter on the other side of Miles Garrett. Oh my goodness, that defense is just going to be awesome. But again, they need a quarterback. They need a quarterback.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson was a horrible investment. They were trying to recoup monies.
Yeah.
They were trying to recoup monies from a TikTok dance, and apparently he wasn't wearing his walking boots, some shit like that.
I think I think I believe they'll go quarterback. And I'm seeing the reports where Dion and Shador is now saying, you know how they was, and I know people call me a hater against Dion because I'm not a hater. I'm just one of those guys who evaluate quarterbacks and see sports for what it is. I don't, I don't dick ride basically. And I see how now they're really saying, look, we really don't care what team we go to. We just want to be drafted. And I think that's happening because of all the talk. Sometimes it's time to talk and it's time to shut up. And I think Dion and Shador talked too much to where it's turned a lot of organizations off. To where now they're saying how he might drop. Now that might just be talk, but
Well, in my personal opinion, in
Mhm.
recent years in the NFL draft, organizations usually reach for quarterbacks off of positional need. Now, if I'm the Giants and I still want to take a shot on Shador, I've said it before, I'll say it again.
Mhm.
I'd try to trade back with little brother, the Jets, maybe trade with
Yeah,
Carolina, maybe even the Raiders.
yeah,
And I would try to get down to 7 or 8
yeah,
if you really want Shador. But
yeah.
honestly, at pick 3, the probability is either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter is there. I think they're too good of a ball player at their respective position to overlook. Now, I'm going to
Yeah.
go back to Nice here. Nice, not overly affiliated with what's going on in the NFL, but he did want to speak on the events that went down in the Grizzlies game yesterday.
Oh man,
Idris, what are your thoughts?
atrocious, dude. I mean, Adam Silver got to do something, dude. I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
golly, that was. I was looking. I was just happened to flick in the channels and I was watching it, and I was like, damn, what the hell? Yeah, that was bad. I mean, the NBA has to do something, dude. I mean, they don't call. I mean, it's good that they won. The Grizzlies won last night, and the Hornets, they're won, but they don't call traveling. The five. I mean,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
Adam Silver is in a bad spot because, we love basketball, particularly because it was ingrained in us from
Oh,
years
and the
before we've
dunk.
seen
That
ninth
that
grade.
that he might be talking about the dunk. I was talking about the calls. If he talking about the dunk, man, that was crazy. My man got hurt. Was it with Wells, Jalen Wells, with the dunk? Yeah.
I'm
He
with
might be talking
I'm
about
with
that.
Nice on this. Nice makes a good point.
Yeah.
He's saying it brought him back to the situation with Robinson and Embiid last year's playoffs. When I'll be
Yeah.
honest, that bullshit cost the Knicks a couple of extra days in the first round.
Yeah. It did.
You
It
know,
did.
but I think in general, Adam Silver is dropping the ball a little too much because unlike David Stern, the late David Stern, he's a little too much of a yes man for
Yeah.
today's NBA players. And truthfully, I feel like LeBron's the friggin' the friggin' commission, not the actual commission name, Adam
Yeah.
Silver.
Right. And you know what? And see, when you say that, people call you a hater. But see, what those I call them LeBronians. What they're not watching things. Me, like I had a debate with a LeBron fan a couple of days ago. I told him I had always put this bet out to anyone across the social media. I said I got $1,000 if you can prove to me that LeBron is the GOAT. I said 1,000. I would send $1,000 to whoever can prove to me that LeBron is the GOAT over Jordan. And I'm not going to take nothing away from LeBron. Dude is mad game. Definitely one of the greatest of all time. I'm not going to put him at 1. With me, I'll be honest, I got him around 8, and I got a reason why I have him around 8. It's not because his. There's a reason why I have him around 8, and maybe in a later show I'll break down my top 10. But rankings have tanked since he's been the face of the league. And people are fed up with the nonsense. And he whines and cries. And he gets away a lot of stuff that a lot of players, if not, I'm not even gonna say most players, I say all players don't get away with. He does a lot of stuff he should be fined, suspended, and whatever for, and they let him get away with it.
Now, I will say this: in Jordan's
Mhm.
era,
Yeah,
Jordan did get away with certain things too. But this
yeah.
is the thing: at the end of the day,
He didn't
when
manipulate
Michael
things though.
Jordan brought controversy and negative attention
Hmm.
to the NBA, there's many a theory
Hmm.
about, and I'm not going to go there about everything with his father. I'll keep it specific to the gambling aspect and just leave it there.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of the worst kept secrets that after the 93 three-peat, his
Hmm.
absence in 94 was more of an unofficial suspension.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And I think David
yeah.
Stern wanted to take that heat off of Mike and the league at the same time
I
and have
agree.
people miss him a little.
I agree. I think they suspended him. I think they suspended him. I would. I don't want to say maybe suspended. Maybe he retired. But I think it was a situation, yeah, where the league said, "Yo," David Stern said, "Yo, man, you know the gambling and the shit like this. You need to take a break." You
I'm
know.
with Nice, man. Nice and myself seem to be rather like-minded.
Yeah.
Um,
Nice need to come on the show. I like him.
yeah. He's saying Jordan brought fans back to sports. LeBron is making fans from the sports. This is my take, and then I'm going to get back into this GOAT thing for a second.
Yeah.
There are a couple of players that you can make a logical argument closer to
Right.
Jordan for GOAT status than LeBron James. I'm going to give you two former Lakers.
Hmm.
Formerly Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has just such a prolific resume
Yeah.
that I do believe that he could be in the running for GOAT status. But however, his teammate Magic Johnson actually hurts Kareem, and
Yeah.
Kareem hurts Magic one and the same.
Yeah.
Because while you can make an argument that Michael Jordan may have had the greatest sidekick of them all,
Hmm.
I still believe that you're talking about potentially the greatest center of all time. That's, of course, debatable. You got Shaq, you got Chamberlain, you got Olajuwon, and now you got Jokic entering the conversation.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any denying that Magic Johnson is the greatest point guard of all time.
No denying. No denying.
I have much respect for Steph. I view Steph more as a combo guard. I'm willing to listen and say that Steph is the greatest shooter of all time. I have no issue or no objection to that.
Yeah.
But point I'm making is Magic, I'm not including that half a season when he came back to the Lakers the year before they got Kobe and Shaq together. I'm
Yeah.
referring to the 12 years that he was in the league,
Yeah.
79 through the 91 season, 9 finals appearances, 3 finals MVPs. He
Yep.
left the league in only 12 seasons as the NBA's all-time assist leader. The man could affect the game in such a way without even scoring a point, more so than any other player probably to ever play the game. He won the
Hmm.
finals MVP at only 20 years old, and he filled in for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and played center.
Right on. Right on.
Gracefully handed the torch to Michael Jordan in defeat. And listen, I love MJ. I got much respect for both these guys.
Yeah.
But when MJ says that he beat Showtime, number one, there was no Armani suits and no Pat Riley. It was Mike Dunleavy.
Mike Diggler,
Number
Dunleavy.
two,
Yep.
Byron Scott was dinged up. Number three, it wasn't no Kareem. It was a rookie Vlade Divac. And we
Yeah.
all know that Magic retired shortly after. Did Magic know that the retirement was coming because of the virus? I'm not 100% sure. I think he probably found out
Yeah.
just like the rest of the world did.
Hmm.
At any rate, it cost Magic probably 5 more years of top five
Yeah.
performance in terms of the
Yeah.
league back then. And I
Yeah.
think it cheated ball fans out of Lakers and Bulls a lot more. I would have LeBron anywhere between 5 and 8. I'm more
Yeah.
comfortable with kind of putting him close to the top five because of positional value. But if we're going to rock this out on the value of winning, there are too many guys, even in LeBron's own era, Curry, Duncan, and Kobe, and even Shaq.
Yeah.
Shaq has a three-peat as the main gun for those Lakers teams.
Yeah.
Only 3 teams have three-peated in my lifetime, Idris. MJ and Pip led 2 of them. Kobe
Yeah.
and Shaq led the other one.
Same here. Well, no, Boston didn't three-peat. I've seen a lot of the early Boston Laker runs, during the '80s, but they didn't three-peat. But yeah,
Similar
I'm
to
with you,
the
man.
Steelers did to the Cowboys in the
Yeah,
70s. If the Lakers don't run into the Celtics are the team of the 80s.
yeah. And like I said, people will call us, hating on LeBron. It's not. It's right. The information, like Nice said, Jordan brought fans to the sport. LeBron is making fans leave the sport. I mean,
No
and
question.
that's a fact. That's not hate. That's a fact. And see what people,
The
especially
proof is
LeBron's
in the
fans,
pudding. Look at the
yeah,
ratings, Idris. Look at the ratings.
down 50% now.
That's
It's going down,
substantial.
down, down. You know how man, I mean you're much younger than me, but you remember how the NBA used to be? The NBA on CBS. The NBA used to be what people came to see. The NFL and the NBA will go back. You see how the NFL now has taken over Christmas Day. Everyone knows the NBA and Christmas was synonymous with each other. Now the NFL took it away, and LeBron's like, "Why? Wait, this is our day." No, y'all gave this day away. The NFL said, "Look, if y'all gonna lose fans, we're gonna take those fans," and that's what the NFL's doing.
Christmas Day, the NBA definitely takes a back seat now.
Yeah,
I would say that one of the best days for the National Basketball Association is actually MLK Day now.
yeah, but they're gonna lose that too.
I mean, dude, even
Yeah,
hockey
hockey.
has taken advantage of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I remember a couple of years ago, Igor Shesterkin
Igor.
tribute to Martin
Yep.
Luther King. So when you consider the part of the world that Igor Shesterkin's from
Yeah.
and that it resonates with him, I think it speaks a lot of positive volumes.
Hey, shouts out to Ovechkin, man. Andre Ovechkin.
Yeah, man. Doing it
Yeah,
against the Islanders, they got crushed that night, but Alex Ovechkin is the all-time. That's one of those records, Idris, that I
yeah.
never thought would fall down. I would
Me
say
neither.
that the
Me neither.
safest one right now is still Joe DiMaggio's 56 game. I would say Joe DiMaggio's 56 game hitting streak, Brett Favre's consecutive start streak, because
And
nowadays, you bench
mhm,
your starters in the final week of the year.
yeah,
Those are 2
there's-
that are pretty safe. And if I had to name another one, I'd say Cal Ripken's consecutive game streak that he
I was
took
gonna
from
say Cal
Detroit.
Ripken. I was gonna say, don't you end this conversation without saying Cal Ripken, because I
And
don't
I
think
got
that
one
record
more for you,
ever.
bro.
Yeah,
I got one more for you.
yeah.
I don't think we're going to see another 45-year-old win the heavyweight championship in the kind of time span when I talk about the late, great George Foreman.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think so either.
Nice. We have a really deep catalog, so if you can, please hit that subscribe button on
Yeah,
YouTube. And if you ever want to pull up and do a show with us, you're more than welcome.
yeah. I don't think there'll be another heavyweight champion that old. But you better watch out. Man, I'm stuttering. Oliver McCall made a comeback.
I
I
mean,
think he's like,
Idris, unless if
I
you're
think he's
trying to
three and
make a
zero.
comeback,
You see what?
you could kind of come in like a Creed's buddy, like
Hey, I lose about 20 more pounds, man. I'm, I'm getting there though, because I've been working out. So hey, with this
I'm gonna
sweat,
get us a time. I'm gonna get us a timeshare. I'm gonna get us a timeshare in Mexico. So we're gonna beef up your record, get you some tune-up action.
yeah,
We're
fight
gonna
a
bring
bunch
you
of
back. And if
fight
the
fight
money
some.
ain't right in Mexico, then we'll do like a twofer. We'll have you scratching and spinning.
Right.
Yes. Make it a point to check out the VMix live365.com. Idris, I understand you've been getting traffic even from Europe, which is pretty encouraging.
That's where most of my traffic is from. It's crazy. Europe.
That's cool, bro. And especially real hip hop, because I
Yeah.
have such a high reverence for the boom bap era, your
Yeah.
era,
Yeah.
and you were at the birth of a lot of it, seeing
Yeah.
so much of it go down in the South Bronx.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's I appreciate everyone who's tuned in. I'm still programming things. Still young at it. I've only been on the air like a month or so, month and a half. Yeah, working on it. Watch out for the commercial. It's in there. We just gotta catch it. I got the history commercial going on.
Yeah. I reached out to Brett. I'm gonna make it a point to Zappy and the other guys that I want them to start sending some of these promo audios over. And Zappy, I'm giving you a warning. I told Brett to definitely go at you in the promo because something that I missed that we got to get back to doing is start bench cut. And some of Brett's best meltdowns were attributed to start bench cut. Idris, you still with me? I think we lost Idris for a second. I'm going to move this along while I wait for Idris to come on back. To the New York Yankees. They got another early one today in Detroit, third of a 4-game series. They are suffering a 3-game losing streak after starting the year 6-2. Definitely frustrating. And it's not, so much the win and loss values this early in the year. I think I'm most concerned about the bloated ERA of this pitching staff in the absence of perennial all-star, perennial Cy Young candidate Garrett Cole. I think the Yankees are going to be forced to have to make a move at the deadline to bring in another starter. But one thing that is encouraging is a lot of the arms that the Yankees are going to turn to in the bullpen are getting healthier. Nice. I'm bringing you back in 1 second. I'll pause on that thought. Just bear with me. I'm actually parking in a garage right now, so I'm going to be able to have both hands free in just a moment. Was running around doing some errands, picking up some food for the family this morning, and now I'm going to my less fun job. So I'm going to read that comment in just a moment. Going to just park up here. Yeah, nice. Thanks for popping in, man. Always enjoy new guests, new contributors. So appreciate your input today. Just want to let you know that. All right, we're going to get on this comment right now, and then I'm going to get back to the Yanks in a moment. See if Idris returns as well. All right. Another thing, the NBA is becoming greedier by the year. Back then, basketball used to be played on channels that was yes, sir. That is a very valid point. And I think you could say that about entertainment in general. I think entertainment in general does that with all the different streaming packages. Netflix is jumping on the NFL. They already got the WWE. And I mean, shoot, we're talking about the plummeting ratings of the NBA. MLB's in a good place the last few years. I think the World Baseball Classic also helps MLB. Soccer is continuing to grow here in the States. But I'll tell you what, man, in terms of just pure entertainment, because I don't consider wrestling a sport, I call it sports entertainment. But professional wrestling is definitely at a high end where I think they could touch pretty much anybody with the exception of the NFL. Because in this country, the National Football League, American football, is still this country's favorite sport. We got him back. All right, Idris, welcome back.
Yeah, I think I got kidnapped by the LeBronians, cut my system, man. Nah, I'm joking. I'm back.
Nah, we were getting on how the NBA's greed is also hurting them.
Oh,
In
yeah.
terms of,
it's crazy.
And I'll be honest with you, if you look at the NBA in the golden era, talking about the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, NBA on NBC, the presentation, the way that they delivered it, is something that they have not been able to replicate, and the product is suffering because of that.
Right.
I love the crew at TNT. I think they're the best of any desk crew. Ernie, Tom,
they're
Kenny,
the
and Shaq,
business.
I believe that they're the creme de la creme
They are the
in
best.
any and all American sports right now. Unfortunately, it still doesn't outdo what we grew up on with the NBA on NBC.
Yeah. They bring the humor, they bring the knowledge, they bring the entertainment the NBA is missing. There'll be the NBA on CBS because that right there was just incredible. But I love what they do. They're moving to ESPN next season. I'm hoping ESPN doesn't change their format because these guys got something going on. And to be honest with you, I don't really watch NBA games anymore. Like if I see one on, I might watch a quarter a little bit here, but I don't really watch them. Now the Knicks is on. I watch the Knicks. That's my squad. I love my Knicks. Um, but if anything, I watch the TNT show
Yeah, I'll be
because
honest with you, Idris, because, we run a sports podcast. There's only so much time in life anyway, and I'm most committed to Major League Baseball, the NFL.
yeah,
Anytime I can catch a Knicks game, it's always going to be on. Knicks are in the playoffs. I will make sure that I am in front of the tube. But, I
hmm
always stay in the know. If I'm at my other job, I'm doing
yeah,
what I got to do to make sure I'm always in the know.
right.
But, no, the NBA, even versus hockey right now, they're taking it on the chin.
They are, and deservedly so. I mean, this is what they created. This is what they created, and it's a situation where, and I don't like using this term. What they say, that prisoners running an asylum or something like that. It's like that. I hate that term because it was used in Houston, and it was kind of like maybe you shouldn't use that, but it's like that. Like you said at the top of the show, Adam Silver. I think he was too player friendly, and the game is going down. Because just look at it this way. Look how the players are complaining how they're covered. Oh, then they say something bad about it. That's the media. That's how it's always been. It's always been that way. But they don't like to be criticized. They want to be praised, 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 praised. They're spoiled. And when LeBron went on the Pat McAfee show, the stuff he said basically took a big giant shit on all the legends. And see, that's the problem. That's the divide between the generations of basketball. If you look at the generation before LeBron, got along with each other, respected each other. Like when I came up in the generation of Dr. J, but I revered the generation of Bill Russell and Wilt and all that. I used to love watching videos of them. I caught the very end of John Havlicek because he stayed around like 15, 16 years. But I respect, I like, I gripped, I was like, wow. And when I went to see, when I started watching basketball, I seen Dr. J play, and I was like, wow. And, Jordan came along. I was like, I didn't like Jordan because, I'm a Knicks fan. He used to always kill us. But I respected that man's game. I seen Kobe come along, and every generation respected each other. But when the LeBron fans came along, I don't even want to say this generation. I want to say the LeBron fans came along. Everything shifted to where they don't respect the legends. JJ Redick, I felt he was an ass at Duke, and I think he is now. When he made that comment about the plumbers, which is very reckless, because those guys like Bill Russell, Bob Cousy, George Mikan, they built this game. They weren't getting paid $4 or $5 million a year. They did have side jobs, but they
They
were trying to
built it.
build. Yeah,
They built it. Magic and Bird saved it, and Jordan made it global.
right, exactly,
Duncan and
exactly.
Kobe preserved it,
Yep.
but now I don't know, man. Before I
Yeah,
get out of here, Idris, I'm gonna let you hang on for an extra couple of minutes,
yeah.
but I want to get just actually three quick thoughts out.
hmm
First and foremost, rest in peace to those lost in the tragedy in the Dominican Republic.
Oh man, yeah,
Very
yeah,
unfortunate.
yeah,
Octavio Dotel, who played with both the Mets and the Yankees, was among them.
yeah.
Just a very unfortunate situation. So our prayers and thoughts to his family.
hmm
Um, Boston Red Sox, they have a docuseries on Netflix. And something I found out this morning is that Jarren Duran, their upstart star, actually was very vivid in sharing a close encounter with a potential suicide. And I
Yeah,
gotta say, I give him so much credit for wanting to share his story and make it necessitable.
yeah.
Because, men's mental health is a real thing. And I think by putting it in front of the world. If you could even save one life, you did something.
Yeah.
So shouts out to him. I'm
Hmm.
actually going to watch that now because certain things are bigger than sports, and that is most definitely one of them. But I'm glad that he is with us because you know, there's the hotline. I mean, guys, if you're going through it, I don't even care if we don't know each other personally. Reach out to me.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you.
Right on. Right on.
You know,
Yep.
everybody needs a little help, and everybody needs somebody that they feel is listening. So I speak for everybody on this panel.
Yep.
You know, please, you know,
Yep.
it will
Yep.
get better.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. I agree. I agree. 100%.
Last thought for myself, and I'm going to let you continue here for a few minutes because you have
Okay.
access to shut this baby down the same way I do.
All right.
That's basically code for me saying my phone's about to die.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I got some stuff to say, so you sign out. I'll just finish. Yeah, I'll keep it going.
Yeah. Last thing I want to say in
Mhm.
reference to my New York Yankees, I do want to see a potential trade made if it needs to be at the deadline for another starting pitcher. But when Luis Hill returns,
Yeah.
he is the reigning Rookie of the Year for the American League. That could help things. But the bullpen is key. It's structured to be a championship bullpen. I'm not overly worried about the up and down offense. Uh, that's football weather the Yankees and Tigers are currently playing in, so things happen. But
Right.
there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. But I will say this. Through the first
Hmm.
11 or so games, the Mets look like a better team. But
Yeah.
through the first 11 or so games, let me just
But
keep it
that's how they
there.
do. That's how they do. Yeah, they
Nice
do
and
that.
Idris, have a great day. You
Oh yeah,
guys continue this, and I am going to let myself out.
no doubt. All right, y'all. Yeah, appreciate you, Richie. Get with you later, man. What I'm gonna
Appreciate
talk
y'all.
about is all right, man. Let's talk about the transfer portal. In college sports, prior to this, players were able to leave, but not have such freedoms like they do now. That back then you had to sit out a year, red shirt. The past. Some will go to transfer to smaller schools. You know, I spoke about this on other show. I think they need to have some type of regulation because transferring 2 or 3 times to a different college because you can't play or you didn't get on the field, that doesn't make any sense. I could see if you have a hardship where you're living in Louisiana, but you're going to school in Washington State or go to school in Maine or something like that. You want to be closer to home. Okay, transfer home. But once you get home, you go to Tulane or Louisiana State, LSU or whatever. You get on the field and you can't get your start. You shouldn't be able to transfer again because you had your transfer. You transfer because of a hardship. You're home. You got on the field. The backup beat you. You have to make yourself better to get on the field. So as for NIL, I'm freestyling this, y'all. It's just like NIL. I'm glad players are getting money for their likeness. The problem with that is getting to the point to where they are jumping and jumping and jumping, and it's hurting teams because you look at how Nick Saban, he took a step down. He's like, look, I'm done with this. These guys that come in here get this money and they're gone. You can't build a program that way. And look at it in basketball, the same thing. The player from Notre Dame, I just forgot her name. Oh shoot, wearing the glasses. She just transferred to TCU. I think with transfers and NIL, you have to have some type of regulation. You have to, because this money, these kids getting the money, and I'm all for them getting their money. Because I remember a time where the NFL, the NBA, they use these kids' faces on Madden and everything else, these video games, and they didn't get a dime. So now they're getting paid for the likeness, but some of them are really not that good. You got players, I think Tennessee, was it Tennessee, um, where the player got called out, where the coach, no, it was Arizona State with the Hurley brother. He called out one of his players and said, hey, you're getting paid money. You need to get out there and play your game. And it shouldn't have to come down to that to where a coach is saying, hey, you're making so and so, you're making $10 million a year playing college basketball. You need to go out there and win me a championship. That's the way I look at it. I'm speaking for the coaches, and like these kids have everything given to them now. And I think NBA, I think it was Shaq that said it. The problem with today's sports is, and I'm talking across the board, is these kids are given so much without proving anything. And I think that's what's affecting the NFL, where the players are going to the NFL and just not performing. They're given too much and they're not developing. You know, I remember Maurice Claret, how he came out after his freshman year and he tried to fight it. NCAA, but hey, look, I want to play pro football. He wasn't ready. He had that one good year in college at Ohio State. And even in basketball, you look at Anthony Davis, as great a player he is, he can't stay healthy. Joel Embiid, he can't stay healthy. But these are guys that played 1 year in college. They didn't get NIL money, but you have these type of kids coming out of college going to the pros. They're just going to college, get a check, and going to the pros. You know, and I don't know. It's just there's got to be some type of regulation. Let the kids get their money, but there's got to be stipulations. You can't just transfer, because you get money here, get money there, or transfer in terms of the portal because you couldn't get on the field. You can't get on the field, get in the gym, shoot more shots, go out on the field, throw more passes, tell the quarterback, throw me more passes, get the ball, run sprints, do something. But this moving around is like crazy. Let's see what we got. All right. Oh, you still on, Richie?
Yeah, I'm chilling by the truck. I got to address this with Nice before I
gotta
go.
Listen, yeah, after you, we can close out after you do. Yeah.
I don't see Soto as a 5-tool player.
Nah.
He's an excellent hitter. He's a great plate presence. But in the field, when I think that they gave that man with incentives laden stuff up to possibly 880,
that's crazy.
Good, bro.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're the Yankees. You know what I mean? We're the Yankees.
And at the end of the day, Soto was nothing short of a rental.
Yeah, because it was 50-50. We keeping him. It was 50-50. I think I lost respect for him as him going across the street, going over to the Mets. Like, oh, okay, so that's what we're doing.
He's essentially been a mercenary, so it is what it is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But forget him. I hope he bats 225 and hits 21 home runs and I don't know. Yeah. I hope he bats 225 this year. Anyway, y'all, we are the Richard Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. Feel free, please like and subscribe to this channel, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You can take us out on X also. We don't have a set time we're on the line, on air, but we're on air. For myself, Bosco from the Bronx, and Richie Hicks, we are out until the next time. Please like and subscribe to the channel, y'all. We are out. Peace.